Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's ViDevo. This morning we are in Mark chapter 2, picking up where we left off last Thursday with verses 18 through 22, which is a passage that I have to admit in the past was super confusing to me. Because it's a passage where, as one commentator says, the imagery Jesus uses in what he says is a lot clearer than what he means by it. And for years, it seemed like no matter how many times I read this passage, I'd always come to the end of it and go, what? I don't get it. But I think after some study, I finally get what Jesus is saying here. So let's check it out, starting in verse 18. Mark says this, "Now John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting. Some people came and asked Jesus, 'How is it that John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees are fasting, but yours are not?' Jesus answered, 'How can the guests of the bridegroom fast while he is with them? They cannot, so long as they have him with them. But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and on that day they will fast. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. If he does, the new piece will pull away from the old, making the tear worse. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. If he does, the wine will burst the skins, and both the wine and the wineskins will be ruined. No, he pours new wine into new wineskins.'" And maybe right about now you're where I used to be, right? Saying, what does that mean? Basically, I think Jesus is saying that now that he's here, it's time to celebrate and be glad about that. It's time to rejoice in the fact that God sent him to save us. Now, at this point in the story, he hasn't been crucified yet, so he does allude to the fact that there's a time coming when the bridegroom, which refers to Jesus, when he'll be taken from them, and that will be a sad day. But overall, that said, don't miss the fact that God is doing this new thing by sending Jesus to save us. And Jesus is someone to enjoy and be happy about. He's someone to celebrate. So today, especially since we know how the story turns out, that Jesus is crucified, but it's to save us, and he doesn't stay dead. He beats death, and through him we can now have this eternal life with purpose, this eternal life that starts now. Man, today, celebrate that. Whether that just means keeping Jesus in the forefront of your mind and what he's done for you and enjoying that, or maybe it means singing worship songs all day long as you go about your day. Whatever the case, today, let's celebrate our Jesus, because Jesus is someone to celebrate.